Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crusader Kings 3 series featuring Harran, in which our first ruler, Thabit ibn Qurra, or Bar Qurra, depending on who you're asking, has recently passed away of old age. He lived a good long life. He made Harran, well, I was about to say at one point it was prosperous, and now, the way it went near the end of his life didn't go exactly as he wished, especially due to internal conflicts within the Abbasid Empire. But now it is up to his son, Sinan ibn Thabit. I was just trying to remember the name because I was thinking it's like what's the Syriac name? Oh yes, that's what we are. We're Syriacs. We're not Levantine Arabic anymore. We are Syriac. To be exact, West Syriac. There is a reason for why I switched cultures, which both has its benefits and drawbacks. Give it a moment. Alright. Now, we used to be Sham, also known as Levantine Arabic, or Meshriki, also known as, well, this is the cultural traditions that we used to have, and the one that they're going for in 17 years' time is eye for an eye. And I noticed that Syriac doesn't have a culture head, but there's also something that that they do not have, but the Syriacs do. Yes, they have city planning now, but they don't have plenary assemblies as they are too far away to make it happen soon. But the Syriac, as I'm the culture head, it's actually a lot closer to be discovered, along with city planning in a few years' time. So there's a reason why I switch cultures, because we're getting closer to that, so that way I have the ability to limit the get limited crown authority, so that way I can revoke titles and vassals can be retracted and all that, you know, things that I wanted, even if the vassals of glory hounds, parochials, minorities, and minor landowners won't like it, but they're gonna have to learn to love it. And plus, since I'm clan government, so clan government vassals will provide at least 5% of levies and 2% of their income. And plus another thing that the Shami have that they don't have, but we Syriacs do: caravanserai. Now, a caravanserai was a roadside inn where travelers could rest and recover from a day's journey. Caravanserais supported the flow of commerce, information, and people across the network of trade routes covering Asia, North Africa, and Southeast Europe, most notably the Silk Road. Although many were located along rural roads in the countryside, urban versions of caravanserais were also historically common in cities throughout the Islamic world. Urban caravanserais also became important centers of economic activity in cities across the different regions of the Muslim world, often concentrated near the main souk areas, with many examples still standing in historic areas of Damascus, Aleppo, Cairo, Istanbul, and Fes, in many parts of the Muslim world. Caravanserais also provided revenues that were used to fund charitable or religious functions or buildings. These revenues and functions were managed through a waqf, a protected agreement which gives certain buildings the revenues of status and mortine endowments guaranteed under Islamic law. So this would give us 5% plus more holding taxes, and developmental growth will go up a bit faster, plus 10%. But this is also important: cultural acceptance gain to go up. The former culture I used to be part of, yeah, there's been some recent changes, you know, such as promoting culture and a current acceptance, and this yearly gain 1.86 because we're bordering with their culture, intermingling in the realm, and the vassalage, a caravanserai also helps. And plus, since we are of a Aramean heritage, the cultures share the same heritage group, language branch, are geographically close and share ethos, share a majority religion, and share a majority faith. Again, Arab heritage. Let's do 2 plus 10 culture, except it's baseline for Near East. And, heritage group, yes, do 2. Near East heritage group. Share the same language branch. Semitic language, yes, Arabic and Aramaic come from Semitic. That's plus 4. Geographically close, share the same ethos. Yes, we're both spiritual. Even though I would love to change that in the future. It's a study that's more to my liking, since I'm the culture head. And, look, I'm not saying that we're going to try to hybridize it. In fact, I think it's impossible. Oh, wait. So let's say, like, if I were to, like, keep this, it's like, okay, we keep the same ethos. I mean, I was thinking of something else entirely. And I would be getting these 3 things that the series do not have. If we get that cultural acceptance up to 40. Not to mention the amount of prestige you'd be spending if you were to switch around these traditions. I mean, if I was them, I would like to have this again. Keep Drowned Dwellers. I'll probably have City Keepers. And Philosopher Culture, I'd like to have that back. Because it's been doing so good for me during the reign of Thabit ibn Qurra, or Thabit ibn Qurra. So, these would be the 5. That refined poetry thing, I mean, it's nice to be a poet, but I don't think there's any reason for that. Loyal subjects is always a good idea, improve relations and such. But the color and the aesthetics, and I think I would also use both names, because don't you know who my father was? And our grandparents as well? Byzantine and Arabic. Honestly, we use both. And both. Again, that's going to be my plan in the future, if time allows. I'd rather start speaking Arabic again. I mean, I can't keep my own language, but it says must pick pillars from both cultures, not counting shared pillars. Although, our ancestors were Arabs. Unless we're going to be those that has Arab heritage, but speaks Aramaic. Again, that's the idea that I have in mind. And also, I just noticed this thing before we finally get time ticking along. I keep seeing this thing up there. Future Regent. In the future, you might become unable to rule your realm yourself, in which case a regency will start. Before this happens, you can see your future regent, and even designate one yourself. A regency can occur for many reasons, including when you travel outside the realm, when you're a child, or you become capable. I think everybody's got that figured out for those who've been watching my videos. Let's preview future regency. Okay. The regency status shown here at the top of the video. Yeah, I know. I had prior practice. Your future regent is shown here. Unless you designate one, the candidate with the highest regency score will be picked. You could designate the regent using this button. You should try to find a regent that has high loyalty and high aptitude. If your current regent dies or is otherwise unable to act as regent, the next character's succession order will take their place. For now, consider designated regent. If you want more control, who will rule in your stead. Everybody's selfish, which is good. I don't like the fact that you're Orthodox Christian, but that you have brilliant diplomacy compared to everybody else, I'll designate you regent. And I'll be like, why would you designate a lowborn as designated regent? Now convert to Harranism, and then you'll like me a bit more, and then you have a higher opinion of me, and not to mention you are just and trusting, but a bit lazy. Plus, I'm not going to marry you, because that's another thing I would have to consider, finding a spouse, because my character, Amira Sinan Bar Thabit, he has been stressed lately because his friends and family are dead. Did he have any friends? His sisters died from being sickly. Used to be married to Nazi, was a soulmate, which Nazi has since died a few years back. In fact, that may have contributed to his big-time stress. He lost his soulmate, and because of that, he became a Hashishya. So he's dependent on the consumption of hashish to deal with the stress every day life. So it's likely that his siblings, his children, except one who's still in prison, may have contributed to his stress. And look, he may be strong and intelligent, but he's still human. Sister was executed. Yeah, this is probably when the mental break happened. His true soulmate, Nazi Taberna, she was executed. Although he was the commander of a few battles, so he did have some prior combat experience before he became the ruler officially. So I need to find a wife, but it's gonna have to be one with alliance power. As long as it's not too far away from here. I would like for it to be next door neighbor, but he's got a county that technically belongs to Harran. Ah, here's a good one. Baghdad. Yeah. But there's a problem. You're too young, and it's gonna take 13 years before I start having children again. And that means I would have to raise with just only one. Yeah. Keep looking. Oh, you. You're the one that holds the rest of the living family members in prison due to you. You need to be dealt with sooner or later. Or go look for an unusual source. Because, you know, my mother is Serbian, so why not have relations with those from over there? Even though I wouldn't intervene on their affairs. But they can intervene in mine, where they could just simply go on ships, transport across, be in the Middle East, and then, yeah. And plus, it's only a few years away before I get to marry to this person in a couple of years who is brave, diligent, and content. Even though it has no inheritable genetic traits, and she's going for learning focus. Just like my mother. And you know, I do have a little bit of Serbian heritage in me. Well, allegedly. But keep looking, I'll consider Grana. Despite the distance. You know, would prefer more locally. Plus, I need children now. That's another issue. Well, now would be an understatement. I mean, just a few years and then you'll get what you want. Commander Shah, that's another. That is some distant away. But it's already allocated 2 entities. But again, it's the age difference. That's what I'm more concerned of. Now we're getting to the ones that are lower than this. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go with the Serbian. What's her name again? Grana, yeah. From the Knezevnia of Zahumie. The genomized bastard who's wheezing. Huh. Cornelia here. This is the twin sister. She's barren, but Grana is not. And the difference with the other twin. It's like, yeah, she's content, but that one's more vengeful and stubborn. Okay, I can wait a few years. And then officially marry her. Highly doubtful that I'll make it a grand wedding. I mean, I had one grand wedding and I've lost so many in my life. And plus, it does take quite a bit of time for that character to travel to Harran to have this grand wedding to be made official. Although it does present an opportunity to start making a little bit of money, even though I don't think it'll be as grand as the one I was part of when I married my first wife. So fine, I'll do it. There will be a grand wedding. But can't guarantee everything. Now, lifestyles. There's a couple of perks that are to be unlocked. And the only thing I am sorely lacking is intrigue. Which I'm doing so that it kind of really goes against him being compassionate. Like, I think I should probably just get this one and then that's that. Just skullduggery. Not too concerned about fertility unless the opportunity asks for it. And plus all the military traits, he went to the gallant route, which sounds like him. And as a matter of fact, he's gallant now. Which ups his martial and his prowess up as well, and prestige and attraction. And the accolade glory gain. So true nobility comes not only from one's blood, from actions tempered by a spirit like gleaming steel. And plus, I want to get control back up faster, so I'll have served the crown. So he will be having some natural dread for this. Which actually negates him being compassionate, so it's even. Demand payment for hooks. There we go. Use that part. And as for diplomacy, since I want to have more children, have groom to rule, where children receive 1 to 3 extra skill points. Because you definitely need this. in which he just gained one stewardship. And I know you're being melancholic. I know your siblings are dead and everything. And one more, and since I want to get the limited crown authority as soon as possible, go for scientific. It was 6 and 10 years. Now, this one's going to take 6 years and still 10 years. I may not have my father's genius anymore, but look at the prowess. I can defend myself very well, and I have the fine sword equipped. Perhaps I could use this for future reference. Now, the council. There are 2 missing. Mother's still around. Draga Kuzmanovic. She's still feeling fine. I know exactly what roles should be. She's gonna be my shaman. And plus, she is my mother. And I know mad or passed over for regent. But you are my mother, so you'll soon endorse me again. And plus I got something for you to do. This land is Sunni again, so reconvert it back. Oh great, there's a lunatic. You won't be around for long. You used to be a spy master, Kadan. You will have it back again. And a marshal has to be someone excellent. But unfortunately those options are limited, so I'm going to give it to the loony. Who's going to try to get the control even though there's a potential he may screw it up. 1.8. Especially with Serve the Crown that I have. And now, let's see how to priority. Once again, my plan is to get rid of him. Get out of my land, and I want to have this land for myself. Which it'll take, again, 10 years time, correct? Correct. And I know what I'm going to do with those 10 years. Where is it? Reinforce relations in Silk Road communities. This time, bring in the Middle Easterns. So, Iranian, Arab, and Jewish merchants and travelers have been renowned for their acumen and worldliness for centuries. With their wealth and connections, our status and power could achieve great things together. Do something with it. So now, in particular, I decided to reinforce relations with the Middle Eastern communities in my realm. The merchant networks of Iranian, Arabian, and Jewish origin can be found across the Silk Road. Wherever trade may flow, anyone who seeks to encourage commerce and development will look for their aid. If we do good business with them, they'll also prosper and grow. So now, periodically receive gifts from the local Middle East community. Gifts that carry the amount of house that improves the gold income, or counter modifier building costs, and control in your realm capital will likely be better. And will more likely occur compared to the other Silk Road communities. Now bring in the Middle Eastern merchant settlers. Now that I've been networking with the local Middle East communities in my realm, I'm interested whether they'll be willing to help me attract some of their compatriots, particularly merchants, to settle in my realm and continue expanding existing commercial networks so we all prosper and grow. Makes the buildings, cheaper, at least in Harran. That helps the development. Trade and commerce will flourish. No matter their ethnic or religious origin, merchants from the Middle East can be found throughout much of the Silk Road, ranging from Arabs to Iranians and Jews and more. They have been especially prolific in establishing colonies in major trade centers and crossroads in order to broaden their business networks. I've managed to convince some members of the local Middle Eastern community to assist me in recruiting people from their homelands or from elsewhere along the Silk Road networks to come and settle my lands. They get to expand our networks while also helping me to bring even more prosperity to my lands. I eagerly welcome the colonists, so it's a win-win. I do have the knowledge for it, so I will write a scholarly treatise, just like my father, that he wrote two of them. So it doesn't hurt to help to write another. So now where's my quill? As someone who is considered a Harranian scholar, it is time I made some contribution to the intellectual world. We Harranians can boast a long lineage that stretches back to the Neoplatonic Academy in Athens, and ultimately to wise ancient thinkers like Plato and Hermes. I prepare my writing instruments as well as various books and scrolls written by experts I can consult for research. I'm eager to get started. Also, I need to reduce stress. So pray tell me, what do the stars say in my future? And anytime I want, I can go to the Hajjestapu, which isn't a good idea to have. That effects will give you 2 years, but it'll help me reduce the stress. I'm not calm like my father. I'm rather the opposite. I'm impatient. Well, patient is actually the opposite of patient. Knowing that this control isn't going to go up too much anytime soon, so I gotta do something. I gotta go to my liege first to tell him to send bailiffs to help raise the county control. But it depends on his disposition towards me. Well, he did like the predecessor. I mean, that's good. Also, I wish to learn your language. Because as I know Arabic and Aramaic. So Armenian should be another language that I should learn. And if I get more learning skill, then perhaps I'll start learning Serbo-Croatian again. Just like my father, who knew many. So I should consider going to that. I gotta go request the Egalitarian being restoring control over the unruly counties. But to do that, you're gonna be traveling to dangerous country. And there's many different points of interest I would like to be there. Alright, I never saw this up there. Travel planning. You're about to travel away from your current location. Before you leave, you should plan your travel. Yeah. You rarely travel alone. Characters that travel with you are in your entourage. These characters also join your destination. There are two main factors to consider when planning your travel: speed and safety. The basis is 100%. High speed means you'll arrive at destination faster. Safety counteracts any danger you may encounter on a route. Having a high safety means your entourage can travel through dangerous areas with less risk involved. You can appoint a caravan master, special corpses who will join you in all your travels. They have a large impact on your speed and safety, so you'll want someone in this position for on longer journeys. You can also choose up to 2 trial options for this specific journey. Trial options usually cost gold to provide various benefits, mostly to speed and safety. Many options reduce the danger of specific types of terrain for your route. Each type of danger in the location is shown on the map with a unique color. Any of these dangers you might encounter are also shown as icons in your route. Finally, you can customize your route and bypass danger on the way, instead of going straight to your destination. Before you leave, check the total travel time. There are few chances of danger on route. Safe travels. Yeah, everybody knew that. Those that saw it already. Nowhere is safe. That's the impression I get. But I do want to have more learning lifestyle experience, so when we leave, we'll be sure to take a scenic route. and then head back. That's something we ought to consider. But you dislike me very, very much. I cannot have you as my caravan master. So we will have to wait. Wait until we find a new caravan master that I'm willing to hire. So let's save up some money first, as we will get time finally moving along. Petition costs refunded. Petition age no longer on cooldown. Okay. Good to know. I thought that option went away, but no it isn't. Also, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll try not to spend too much this time. And also gotta find ways to reduce stress. I spent many nights looking up the night sky, tracking the movements of the celestial bodies. Over time I noticed a pattern, and after days of analysis I'm now confident in my prediction. The signs are clear. Hard work will lead me to great fortune in the future. Wonder what else the future holds in store. So I'll be a dedicated worker, which lowers my intrigue more, but stewardship goes up. Shaman Draga, my mother, is by many considered a paragon of Harranian virtue. Her spotless conduct and tireless work as a scholar and preacher has helped reinvigorate the faith significantly in the last few years. Amir Muhammad hated you ever since you became the head of House al-Harrani. Do you know? You have something against me. All I must do now is just watch my back. And you're gonna make me steward. Excellent, that means more income. Kamala has finally left prison. Thank you. I'm glad you have shown compassion. Because my sister here is an excellent caravan master, so we don't need to spend the money to hire one. We'll just replace it. Because she's very good at it. She is quite a traveler. At least that's with someone I can trust. Not sure about Mukhtar. Babayas, the acclaimed knight. You shall be my bodyguard. Ah yes, the Armenian woman that my father brought in. You'll be the court tutor. And because I've been under a lot of stress, I think it's about time we... Ah, you. Yes. You'll get to be the jester. Because, you know, I've been under a lot of stress lately, so you just gotta wait for events to pop up to help reduce that. Oh, by the way, sister, no, you don't know Armenian, okay. Now, will Farida be released, or unless it's gonna keep it there? Converted the culture. Yeah, you're the same guy. No. Not important courtier, in my personal opinion. Yeah, you don't like me very much. First thoughts of Overhaul. My master of the hunt in Mother brings words of peace upon him. I hear much talk around the said there are many excellent prospects for hunting thereabouts, with many a worthy bastard, same Romanist uplands. Interesting. You can hunt within the next 3 years, but during my morning briefing day, my Gezabra, which is Aramaic for steward, made an important point regarding the management of my domain. Something that highlights the cost of major infrastructure investments for my counties to reach full potential. As it is, I must be prepared to fund major infrastructure projects every 10 levels for the provinces to continue to develop. I must have the stewardship of 21, or I'm an architect, then the costs are have the calculated minimum of gold, and must have the treasury be able to fund such development for province for the following 10 to 19, 25, 21, 75, yeah, so on. I have also made a point that telling me these values may not be enough to cover the full price required, but at least guarantees that my treasury can support the eventual debt incurred. Thank you very much for the information. Again, I'm going to petition my liege very soon. Though my Gajosta approached me one day and voiced concerns about the muddy situation of parts of my domain. As things stand, she proceeded to detail how the control of my province has dropped enough that brigands and other lowly thieves took advantage of the fact in order to establish themselves and imperil the travels of everyone, including myself. She suggests that I improve the control in all the provinces I own, that I hire one or even better 2 bodyguards, in knowledge that Khandan is paid to worry about the possible developments and is alerted to every probability, however small. I know I must proceed with caution. Thank you for the tip. So again, if one of your provinces or domain has less than 90 control, then you'll run the risk of suffering a murder attempt while traveling across your lands, while the chance is minimal if the control is bigger than 75 for a single province. The progressive deterioration of control and increase of province with low control also causes an increase in the chance of a life-threatening event to happen. Like how my father, he had many brushes with the Grim Reaper, but nope, he died peacefully. No harm came to him. It all started as small, diffused, faraway gossip about myself, but it's progressively become in the conversations of the noble houses inside and outside of my realm. Matter of factly, my dynasty name has been tainted by the most vile rumors about the integrity of the character of its members. Recently, I've been approached by an intermediary that asked for gold in order for these rumors to slowly stop. With the mastermind behind the nefarious plot, the unknown, I must weigh my options. 19 gold, is that the demand? Because of my intrigue skill, although that option developed, you either have a 21 intrigue if you're a schemer or deceitful, or follow an intrigue lifestyle path, which I do. Even if paying up front to acquire gold, the way you self-promoted dubious means which solved your dilemma are not consensual within your dynasty. which means that you'll not gain any opinion modifier from the other guys members, unlike the top option. So you'll spend some money, and you'll gain prestige, but more importantly, you gain some renown. Yes, renown. And you know, I need to be noteworthy to get to that major goal in mind. So pay more than demanded and subtly promote my interests. That's what I'm going to do. I shouldn't be spending a lot of money for this, but I had to do it because I had no choice. I mean, actually I do, but I took the high road. And speaking of high roads, now, with Kamala back on my side, I need to follow my father's example and just be safe. And if need be, maybe we could have some Silk Road merchants to bring with us. 9% chance that you might gain a small amount of gold from a trade deal, depending on diplomacy and stewardship. So there might be some low chance of danger for this. So let me customize the route here. Look, we'll go to that capital here, and then we're going to take the scenic route to go visit some landmarks. We go to there, then to there, and then that, and I'll actually find a safer way, and it will go down this way. There's Desert Mountain, so perhaps we'll go the long way. No. To Yuza, then from Dadan, eh? And then we'll visit Nineveh, and then we'll be there. Simple. And plus, we'd also be visiting the fortress of Admida as well. Well, this is somewhat safe of medium chances of danger, but I just need you to be with me, sister. Not to mention, you know, a few other things as well. It's gonna cost us some money, but hopefully we'll make some back on the way back. Papa Buktishu, an Assyrian Silk Road merchant who's contrite, loyal, and a wise man. Also with the apostolic faith. I've been traveling many times, but I don't have the traveler trait, but I have been a pilgrim in the past. So let's go to Armenia. Armenia proper. Stonemasons of Upper Kabul. The stonemasons of Upper Kabul are well regarded elsewhere for their quality of work. Sometimes they're even commissioned by wealthy patrons from afar to be involved in their projects. They're laying down a rock-solid foundation for the future. Wow. Journey to Ptolemy's son. I passed by a particular-looking tent displayed open with its yet more peculiar-looking occupant inside. Come in, almighty Amira. I can tell you have many miles to go. Can I offer you the reading of your future travels for a modest price? The strange man has piqued the interest of my entourage. What am I willing to pay for the reading? Assyrian again. How about you come and experience the future with me? Bad idea to be bringing more bad people in, honestly. A road takes us to treacherous parts of Talmazan. While I scan for any dangers, a rustic bush grabs my interest. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, Mukhtar jumps out of the bush instead, holding up a... You scared me, Mukhtar. Anyways, let me see what you have. Some kind of fruit, I exclaim. Yes, It looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll just take a little bite. Hold on, what if it's poisonous? The rash appeared where the plant touched. Ah, god dog it. My presumptions were correct. Yesterday, Charles and Dick Ranagad were rather grueling. I was so exhausted that I overslept, and the rest of my entourage didn't want to wake me up, saying they worried that I would be not be in the right state of mind if they didn't give me enough time to rest. I'll be careful not to oversleep again. On our way to Maya Farkin, we appear to have stumbled into a local food market. Everywhere peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor around exotic food stalls, the air thick with fragrances I never had imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stack of a dish I could only dream of. I'm pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of Kamala. Do not waste your power on this slop, my lord. Bull is a steward for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. I'm the Emir and I want my bowl of stew. That food was disgusting. It didn't get me ill, at least. Ah, I remember that man. He was one of the good ones. But I cannot pay the money to get you. Taberna is the home of a famous waste shrine that I happen to be passing by. Locals tell us that it is uncommon for travelers to spend a few days praying there, for it is said that doing so will ensure safe passage for one's journey. I'm unsure how helpful praying at this site would be, but at least pay my respects to the one while here. Say a quick prayer and then move on. Almost to the capital, so I can tell them about the county control that I need. Accepted. I'm escorted in a Baghdad store where he beckons for me to approach dressing. I carefully describe my problems in the fight on places, resistant to my authority and beset by vagabonds. I request his assistance in restoring order. After listening to his speech, he smiles warmly and states, "Absolutely, vassal. I shall dispatch my agents immediately to take care of this matter." Thank you, my liege. All the held counties with less than 6 control. It'll jump up. You'll have royal bailiffs for 5 years. It'll make things less dangerous. People will like it. Get a bit of renown for it. Thank you very much. Now I must go take a scenic route and then return home. It seems our caravans became a little lost in these foreigns. Kamal's been trailing around Bagaran for hours. Though she swallowed her pride and asked for directions, she does not appear to be an expert Harran speaker. Well, let me try. I successfully, gained studies progress. That's why you gotta learn Armenian, which is something I'm trying to learn. Thanks to our diligent efforts, my caravan master Kamal found a safe shortcut to Divin, which could use to reduce our time of journey quite a bit. How fortunate. Good work. More 7 days progress. I traveled together with Papa. Is that how you say his name? Papa? As if he's my father. So, Papa and his merchant caravans, I've come across business opportunities I would not have otherwise. While in Naxidan, we were able to secure a favorable trade deal with merchants we met there. I could accept the deal as it is, or risk it and aggregate even more out of the merchants. but they might refuse and the deal might fall through. Again, I'm not my father, so these skills, if you want to haggle, it's even risky. But we stick to the initial agreement, which is 43 gold, which is actually a better deal than you think of it. Well, you're gonna have to take it. Armenians got beautiful churches. Oh yeah, you definitely gotta have this. Because I need to get down there. Culture acceptance gain and among other things. People have different favorite opinion. I'm only doing intrigue temporary just to have the ability to fabricate for hooks. Good job, my Jester Regent. Way to go. Oh, should not be traveling in the harsh winter. Get out of here. Get out of Zagros mountain range. We're good now. Nephew. I ain't gonna pay you nothing. An opposing man is standing on the road ahead of us. I am Shadost of Al-Muazzil. I bested dozens of men in combat, and honestly all those fights were dull. So here I am on this road, looking for someone better than me, or someone I can learn from. If you could best me in combat, I'll become a valuable and loyal servant. And so on this day, I demand to meet one of you in a fair fight. In a Syrian Muslim, but robust. I could take him on. You might be less valuable after I win. I win the fight, and you join me. I know he's still a prison. So she's impatient. Just like me. Pilgrimage has been a long one. I've finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the diviners had priest treatment. I've undergone a journey of a holy man. It has changed something about where I could see myself or not. It is good to be home. Although I do want to travel more, honestly. So, the control here is starting to improve little by little. Now his control's full here, now get to work on that. Though there's a good chance that you may screw it up. Ah, Shados, the man who I bested him. You'll be the new, Rab Halawaka. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Get out. In less than 2 years' time. We'll get what we want. And you know, the average wedding costs this much. Excuse me. Obviously, that's too far away. So perhaps I should go on a pilgrimage, a worldly pilgrimage to Baghdad. I've been there once, but hey, it's a relatively short distance. Maybe one day I'll also go to Algezia. And it's a much safer travel. Why does it have to be this expensive? And plus, I need to use that for reflection. That's just to relieve some stress. Although, due to being an impatient character, I could just go there faster, but I think that makes a little difference because I prefer to travel slow, which means more possible opportunity for Silk Road merchants to make some trade. So instead, I'm going to take my sweet time to be contemplative. I just bring no one from your court in, thus reducing the cost. It would just be me, bodyguards, the caravan master, my mother, shaman, and court physician. Those are the ones who should come with me. So pilgrimage is a time for quiet reflection. A common pilgrim train with strangers is the best place for that. I'll write that too. I wonder, when I was a wee count, then yeah, okay, hang on. Okay, so first off, travel to here, and then we will go to the Great Mosque of Samara, which we missed at one point. And then we'll go that way. And then we go into the House of Wisdom, which does give me some intrigue lifestyle experience I want to see. And I'll gain a traveler trait for that. And then go take the long route. Well, there might be some little danger, but hey, a little danger creates a little bit of excitement in travels, alright? Well, this will be 8 months. It costs more than it should. Again, you got the experience like no other as a veteran traveler. This is why I like having you around. So let us go. I'm not ill right now, but you'll be fine, fellow Syriac. I added 2 potential pilgrims that come with me. While all preparing for my journey, I had this sense of serenity that knowing that everything will be alright. I'm pleased to embark on this pilgrimage to Baghdad in order to get even closer to the one. Now more than ever, I feel certain that he will watch over me on my travels. Can't wait. Who are these other pilgrims that you brought with me? Or they'll show up a little later. As we trek through Kvartov, our caravan has stopped at a clearing bordered by tall grass. I proceeded toward a commotion to find Mukhtar and Abgar and Ivoryville. I have no more here it is to see, you miserable ogre. Mukhtar stamps one shoulder. You're the one who whined on this tired journey, screaming, "Are we there yet?" at every crossroads, Abgar retorts. Oh dear. Come now. Surely you two can make amends. They did. Grotesque creatures. I rarely see my mother, Draga, this excited before. Her eyes seem to be devouring a richly ordained book. Sometimes I manage to take a peek at the maps of his terror. One morning she finally approached me on findings. My liege, there are rumors that the land of Gara is home to extraordinary people. It is said that Lemia, headless people, who have their face on their chests, wander these cities. Yeep. I must see these creatures now. Kamal's in charge of our food supplies sheepishly revealed our provisions are all but useless, having poorly stored. Patches of mold covered in bread and fresh produce. We quickly used up the remaining dry food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. This is a learning challenge for Draga, my mother. Nature will provide us, so she'll find some forage. 2% chance that I'll eat a wrong plant. 2% chance that I'll eat the worst plant and die. So we got that 95% option. Mother knows best. A grotesque disappointment. Every time we get to a new settlement, I take a moment to look around, trying to find the grotesque creatures I've seen in Draga's maps. The curiosity is simply too big. When you arrive at Tunami, she comes to grasp at a book title. Mildly each, we follow all the indications, but these creatures know where to be found. It has occurred to me that they may be perhaps no more than an invention. Okay. Alright. 26. So we gotta have to stick with the initial agreement. So we're gonna make some back, hopefully. Shortcut. Good luck. This is the Great Mosque of Samara. Now Baghdad. Baghdad. Souk al-Ward. Having passed through the gates of Baghdad, it is hard not to reflect on having reached a traditional center of Arabic-speaking in the Islamic world. As I approach the inner city, the air becomes filled with intellectual literary discourse. Its entire street, even its bridges, is dominated with hundreds of busy bookshops and literary salons. My caravan later mutters to me, while taking this scholarly spectacle, I could really spend a lifetime here, brother. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to learn some learned conversation. I could take some sweet time here. Why not? So I humiliate myself engaging with the locals in Baghdad for that. Don't answer it. Oh, 20 trade experience. So I lose some stress of this. As the head priest offers a blessing, I reflect on everything that I have for the gods to bring me here at this moment in time. I've walked the holy path. Maybe perhaps I gotta go hunting once I get back. May I interest you in? During a pilgrimage to Baghdad, I can't help but return to the local market. Pursuing the wares, one stand in particular catches my attention. The merchant goods and things. I have the wares, if my lord has the coin. These exotic goods presented would surely make a nice profit back home, where I could even save them as a gift. These over there look intriguing. So I'll purchase these exotic goods and I should be able to triple this once we get back. Overcome religious emotion fell into tears. I gained stress because I'm compassionate. Markets of Baghdad are bustling with merchants shouting in languages I'd never heard and selling spices I'd never tasted. Guide of the pilgrim, learn the safest routes, discover the marvels of Baghdad, one of them yells, waving a small book in my direction. Let me take a look. And if you take this town... Okay, my priority is make more money and reduce stress. Observe a good omen for this. Acclaimed Babeus protected pilgrims. So he gained some glory for that. Ah, crud, it's my spy master. We don't have any good ones anymore. hopefully we look for a good-looking woman who's got high intrigue. Yeah. As our time at the sacred site draws in, I may have missed out the oddworldly opportunity, but I'm overall happy with the experience. This being my first pilgrimage, while no pilgrim exactly alike, I am confident that I'm more familiar with what to expect from this type of spiritual journey in the future. Baghdad, it's been an honor. Cultural acceptance for the Syrian increases by 3. And I did pick up the wise man trait, which is virtuous. Let me see. Marta, you're the best candidate for this. I just want someone that I could trust to be my spy master. Fortunately, you're craven, so that means you'll never oppose me. Yeah, we've already read the Regency part before. Yeah. Yeah. More Silk Road trade. 11. Oh, let's haggle it for once. Let's give it a shot. Oh, 93 gold. Excellent. I have finished writing that treatise on the scholarly topic, which is hopefully another worthy Harranian contribution to learning. It is my hope that the knowledge I expounded upon in my work will be of benefit to humankind. At the very least, should bring me some fame and renown among the scholarly circles in the region. It was hard work, so I'll send out some copies to others. So I wrote a treatise on star tables, which adds a tiny bit of intrigue while still learning. A treatise on astronomical matters, written by an Iranian scholar named Sinan. Yeah, get that off. Put this on. Slope! Mukta shouts in panic. Soon thereafter I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking, or my teeth suddenly snapping. I step out on the sand and see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel! I am so relieved. It was my turn to look out and I fell asleep at the reins. What is this, Oregon Trail? Sigh loudly while heaving the wagon off the ground because I have the strong trait. As we pass through the Medina Alana, a Jubian local approaches my entourage. Her smile stretches from ear to ear. I discern that she's offering a warm welcome, but the finer aspects of her speech are sadly lost on me. Be it as it may, I wave away my attendant companions and return to joyful greeting. I can hardly imagine more of an excellent chance to practice my Harran, the Armenian. That was quite a name. Oh, you're a widow. To Naxara Stefanos of Alexandret. So I guess you were just wandering around here. I'm feeling rather feisty today. I'll attempt to engage you in an amicable debate. 81% chance I have the engaging debate with her, which the learned language will gain progress while cultural acceptance between us goes up. It worked. Shirked her duties. Kamal is no longer caravan master. Why not? Don't you know it's dangerous? Actually, look again. Oh yeah, we're going across the slightly dangerous zone now. Invader's danger right now. 1, Measly second. Soft rumor to the rivers. We've been falling for a while. It comes stronger now. Some members of the yacht talk about making a short stop and get some fresh water and rest their feet. There's a stone bridge with 5 turns. A couple of men with their backs against the parapet. One hits on the other side and points to our group. A third man comes up from the shore. Another looks up to us, spitting into the river. You know, he says, this is actually a toll bridge. Very suggesting. Otar, show him. He beats the bastards. We're home. My daughter and heir has finally been freed. Yes, my journey's been a long one, but I finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the diviners and head priests treat me. I've undergone a journey of a holy man, and it says that something has changed in my way I can see myself, but now it is good to be home. And she's on her way, though it's kind of dangerous to be traveling out in winter like this. By the way, is there still the bustard sighting? Yeah, we can wait a few. Having carried my exotic wares all the way from Baghdad, I can now need to decide what to do with them. Should I sell them at a profit, or maybe give them as a gift for my next personal scheme? The coin speaks to me. You sell the wares triple amount. 120 gold! Well, this would definitely help. How's the little Serbian girl? She's going to be turning 14 next month. Again, once she comes here, I'll make sure that she converts to Harranian. For now, don't do anything. Just wait a few months, and then we'll go hunting. Falconry. Come on, get your over here. Right. Now that you're here, I'll have to educate you, and then there's a language that's rather important for you to learn. You need to learn Armenian, the language of our age. Talia's. He was another man that used to serve in our army. They made him a eunuch. Yeah, he's coming. Gang's coming back together. Ah, yes. Unstationed. It actually makes a difference. Alright, after lots of hard work, I finally learned the Harranian language. Endless hours practicing exultation, sleepless nights mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It's all worth it in the end. Darn Evans, I'd look to emulate the Baghdad Saxon. I'm sure would be impressed by my results. And of course, the High Khan has it's not expecting a deal more. Send a letter, and I impress with my knowledge. Okay, that's step one. Because if I ever want the throne for all of Armenia, or just the Armenian throne where I can get out of this sort of thing, and then, what else? So that way I can start fighting wars to get all the other little entities and such. Oh, by the way, now that you're free, we've got to set an alliance. What about the Sajid, next door neighbor? Kuramites. Well, they're hostile to us, so they are negotiable. Now, as a reminder, people... Oh, none of your boys are betrothed yet, are you? No, good! Well... I don't know about that, because, you know... If you're gonna set an alliance, if anybody, you at least have some degree of alliance from it. But if I have another daughter, then I would be willing. That's too far away from me. Same for that. Unfortunately, those options are limited. Even all the way up to Dagestan. And even then, that doesn't look too impressive. Ah, crud. We're at that point now. Unless we want to risk it all and just say, yes, you could be betrothed to my daughter, you get what you want. We'll have a excellent alliance between us. Or at least with one of the locals, which they don't have any children. But I believe those people would be nice to have along as a potential ally. You know, the Kuramites are pacifistic people. They ain't gonna do nothing. They're not gonna attack anybody, as far as Holy War is concerned. And I'm trying to remember another thing. Okay, if I wanted to take Armenia, I'd rather form a claimant faction and try to build up some supporters. Though I can learn another language. Sogdian. You got it. I was gonna start swaying, but no time for that. As of yet. Maybe we'll consider it when our grad wedding comes up. Where I'll look for potential allies inside of Armenia. Nephew. Right. See? Patient pays off. Even though I'm an impatient man. Let's do this the old CK2 way. Back then, we used to do grand hunts. The hunt usually happens on a month from September to October. So let's do this little falconry during the fall season, autumn season. So we'll do it here. No need for that. Except it's way expensive. Can't we reduce the cost? This is how much would you reduce the cost all the way? Because the base cost, falconry is very expensive. Much more costly. Oh, great. It's not what I had in mind. Well, you still got a good couple of years left. And plus, I would just mainly do it for recreation because, you know, I just really want to reduce stress. And it costs way more to get. Oh, let's be honest here. Tch. Master Hunt bodyguards once the friends join. Mother's still doing alright. keep it with being safe because personal habit. So you're just waiting a couple of more days. Huh. So just assume that this hunt will not be a successful one because I deliberately did that because I wanted to reduce the cost. I simply just want to go out in the great outdoors. Is there a difference? I mean, yeah, I know cost reduction. Hold on, start again. Try this all over again. I like how one of the factors hunting grounds. Even though there is a Denny. In this part, you have to do falconry. Because see? Okay, now, just have it reduced. And don't bring any Silk Road merchants, we're not traveling them for long. I just simply want to have a good time, okay? Is that much to ask? What's the control, by the way? 90, okay. We shouldn't be facing any sort of danger out there. As we wait to arrival, I guess my servants can get started with preparations. The gamekeepers check the shrublands. Each stays for Santa Courtier while camping closer to the hunting grounds. The bus starts so close, I could feel it. Syria cultural tradition. What tradition? Oh, increased hunt success chance in dry land and desert. Right. Just have to wait for every one of those bastards to come here. You're gonna be fine. You still got a few years to make all that money again, so you can marry that Serbian girl. Master Hunter summons part of the gatherers. Light reaches the camp in the shrublands of near Overhaul. With any luck, we found a group of bastards, and falcons will have a great sport. A few beaters we've brought ready with their dogs, and have already found a suitable route. Let's get out there, we seek a bastard. That's what we came here for. Most exciting. Hosea has been the start of the hunt thus far. His falcon's tail's forever dripping with red and fresh blood, so much so that his gloves seem to be stained with permanent crimson. I cannot help but probe what he's done to train such an obedient and masterful hunting bird, and he just laughs. I wish I could tell you it was my good training, but speaking truthfully, it's my glove, blessed by God. I'd be willing to give it up for the right price. How much? 20. Okay, I'll take it. It's a trinket, obviously. You're not using any learning anytime soon, so put this on. That's just a reduced stress gain. I want to gain less stress, I want to reduce more. My falcon takes the perch and keenly spies across the landscape. In a flash, the bird descends upon something that turns to a frenzy once it reaches play. It pecks and claws at something on the ground, though I can't see what. I hurry over to the frantic screeching falcon and find it hauling not over a dead beast, but a small collection of coins and trinkets. The value doesn't seem to be too extravagant, but I sure wasn't able to find the original in the moment. A fine find, my fettered friend. Ah! 50 gold! Wow! Not only made the money back from getting that glove, but also made a profit. Well then. I swore Talia. Sets signals to the party to hush. As we arrive at the release spot set up by the game masters. From our vantage point, we can see several speckled bastards strutting about the spiny shrub head. The party halts as we prepare to remove our birds' hoods and set them one by one to their spot. Fly true, little one. This isn't going to end well. The wood is truly the mantle of the poor. As the bastard flees in panic from the foraging peasants, I feel my patience weary thin. Sure, it must be better things to do in our head today than picking roots and mushrooms. Well, I'm a nice man, so I'll say a generous donation should keep them away long enough, because I'm compassionate. And a popular opinion goes up, so that way those people that live there won't be as rowdy. I watch excitedly as my falcon identifies target takes wing from its watch, soaring high in the air. The bastards are none the wiser, as my falcon scans the ground from high above. Time and again, my falcon swoops in for the kill, but misses, retreats, only degrades the target. After hours' attempts, the game have all but disappeared. My falcon is near exhausted and light is fading. As always next time. So the hunt has failed, but that was by my own choosing, because I didn't want to spend too much. But I had a good time. Everything that could go wrong seemed to do so. But there were silver linings to be found. The masters of the hunt gathers this point part, and the exhausted hounds would trip on. The buster did a little this time. We did our best. I just wanted to lose some stress. I just wanted to be out in the great outdoors. So, yeah. It was worth the trip. We made some money back, and then we spent a little. So. Thank the one. Can go inside again. Now don't go anywhere. Life at home is more important than ever. All you need to do is to be patient. Even though I'm an impatient man and I want to go out and do things. And I got this damn rash on me for another 2 years. Sacred gifts. The leaders of the local Middle Eastern community have presented me with the most spectacular gift of Semitic religious objects, such as statues inlaid with precious gems, colorful paintings, and other similar items. Now, not everyone in their community necessarily shares the same beliefs. People of many faiths lived with one another along the Silk Road for centuries, sometimes peacefully, sometimes warring against each other. So it is kind of unsurprising these notables know exactly what religious artifacts present to me. Most welcome gift. You've done nothing for the children. And since you live here and he's over there, I'm enforcing this divorce. Yes, it costs a bit of renown and piety, but it'll be worth it. You may not like me for this, but damn it, you need to do something. Like get me an alliance with somebody far more important. Somewhere. Please. Oh, that's quite far away from you. Ah, yes. I mean, secondary spouse, be another one of the wise. Have an alliance with, Baghdad. That'll be a good get. You got it. Here, you can have my sister. My Serbian sister. Because I need allies. Shall be 15. Gains tactician attribute. Satos Taberna becomes the acclaimed knight now. Yeah, Harrison met you out here, and then we brought you in here. So hopefully you'll be better again. Where are we at this point? 6 years. Oh, he's been released as well. He's coming home as well. Forge an heir. You can attempt to forge an heir, because given you lack of male heirs, you are desperate to continue the bloodline. You may attempt to recruit someone to be recognized. Oh. So again, this decision is not only active if you have more than 39 years old and have 100 gold, while not being honest, and if your character is neither has at least 30 dread, deceitful, sadistic, vengeful, callous, a schemer, nor that has less than 15 intrigue, will suffer a significant amount of stress. This decision will last for years till its outcome. Your success chance will depend on your intrigue skill, on being a schemer, on being deceitful, on being ambitious, arbitrary, callous, or following an intrigue path. The other positive modifiers are not considered. The average intrigue, stop right there. The average intrigue between 8 and 11 will give you about 50% of finding someone. Oh dear. This man might revoke me. But does your culture have, no, you do not. You can imprison me, but, you know, you better bring allies if you got any, because I know I have a few that will protect me. So I will decline. You have made a mistake. And plus, because ever since he converted to this religion of ours, that means, that vassal contract, the jizya status needs to be granted, but don't have a hook on him. Which is gonna be an issue. But now I'm a criminal to this person. And if he tries to call for my imprisonment, I will ignore it. All the more reasons why he's been converting to Sunni Islam around here. And I'm going to be here to put a stop to this. And you bestowed me a royal favor. There's something going on with you. Once we get the part to fabricate hook, I'll be sure to do that to him. And then get a hook on that man, switch to jizya, and then don't bother me anymore when it comes to religious affairs. So we'll end this episode soon. Since this episode was largely about traveling and making money and reduce stress, and as well as some progress in order to have the ability to, you know, have the increased crown authority and get rid of those. I mean, at least it's another place where you get to share crops. They've gone Sunni as well. For future reference, I want you to fabricate the claim here. So that way I can have a claim for it, and when it's time to revoke titles, just kick them out from there. It'll take 5 years though. About as long as next innovation. I did not approve of what Talia said. It was vulgar and inappropriate situation. I did not say anything about it for now. Poisonous rumors. I recently detected an attempt on someone that can only be part of my council to smear me among the courtiers. Guests and vassals of mine are susceptible to be influenced. This bad word about me can only be spoken out of contempt about my person, which without proof points to Marta. I must be on my guard about the possible future attempts to defend me again. While perhaps to reshuffle the council positions to accommodate someone a better opinion of myself is in order. Let's contain the damage done, because I'm diligent and have high diplomacy skill. Though 31% chance that I will spend this prestige and gain stress and even more stress. Guess we salvaged it. Should discover she is on her own. I don't want to have another mental break. Again, I'm getting good tax income. My only concern now is, well, we wait for the day to, oh yes, she's all grown up now. 4 traits, but you can only have 3, so I'm sure one of them's going to be removed at some point in the future. Let's end the episode with this intrusive thought. Some disgustingly horrific, vile thought just entered my mind. If I told my court, they'd think me a lunatic at best. Anyways, try as I might, I can't get rid of these dark thoughts. All day I've tried my best not to think it, but trying not to think of it makes me think of it even more. This is so bothersome. So I gained the distress because of both compassion and animation. God dang it! This is so bothersome. But it's not all that bad. Yes, it is. And also, you're dealing with a peasant revolt. Don't get too worked up about it. So, guess we will end the episode on this note. So in the next episode, we're gonna hold another grand wedding right here in Harran. In which, what I would like to do is increase the opinion of all the characters I'll be attending, because I want to be well respected. I'm not trying to aim for more renown, as obviously this is far too expensive. Unless you want to wait a few years, though doubtful. So again, you got 3 years to fulfill your promise. Unless something happens over there, which nothing's happening over there. So the only thing you could do now is, well, just hope that Armenia doesn't try to revoke my title. Bagrat doesn't revoke my title. No, he can't revoke it. Just, there's going to be a war between us for that. Which is something that I will try to prevent from occurring around here. And also that next episode I'll see to if I can attempt to get a hook on that man. And find secrets may also fabricate hooks somebody in his court rather than him directly. So in a year's time we will attempt to fabricate a hook and see to that I will do more than just that. So I hope to see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.